force, mass and acceleration calculations, as we've already talked about. Unbalanced forces cause accelerations. How big that acceleration is depends upon the mass of the object. Bigger objects are harder to accelerate, they're also harder to slow down. So the calculations we did yesterday, just straight use of F equals ma. But if there is more than one force given in a question, then you must calculate the unbalanced force first before using F equals ma. So showing you an example here to calculate the acceleration in the following situation. So what we have is 25 newtons of force going forwards. This could be expressed in words. I've just done it as a diagram here because it's a bit simpler. 5 newtons acting backwards, that could be, it could be friction, it could be any sort of force pulling something backwards, and we've got a mass of 4 kilograms. So what we actually have to do first here is calculate what the unbalanced force is, which we write down as FUN for F unbalanced. Remember, F in these equations is always the unbalanced force, it's not just any force, the unbalanced force. So the unbalanced force here, we've got 25 newtons going forwards, and we have 5 newtons going in the opposite direction. So we calculate what we call the resultant force, which is basically the difference between these two forces. Because as we already know, we talked about it this morning, if there's more of a force in one direction, then that's going to cause an acceleration. That's what the unbalanced force is. So in order to calculate that out, you have to know what force is going forwards and what force is going back. So 25 minus 5 is going to give you 20 newtons. So you have 20 newtons of force, and it's going to the right hand side here, which we'll call just in the forwards direction. So we've got 20 newtons going this way. So because we've got an unbalanced force going that way, we're going to create an acceleration in that direction, which is why we can use this equation. The mass is equal to 4 kilograms, and the acceleration we are trying to figure out. So it's just straightforward calculation, FME calculation from here onwards. It's just that this little step here we've had to perform, which will usually get you an extra mark. So if we rearrange F equals ma, we get A equals F over m. Remember, that's your unbalanced force there. So it's 20 over 4. The acceleration caused by that 20 newtons of force is going to be 5. So we've got 5 meters per second squared, and that's going to be 5 meters per second squared to the right here, or in that forwards direction.